Okay, let's see if this goes live. Let me turn off Facebook. Okay. How are we all doing tonight? Where are we from? What's going on for everybody? How are we? How's your week been? What is going on for you? Let's get some sage going, sage the cards. So I've decided next week to do some free training. Hi, Johnny, how are you? And I wanted to do the free training. It's in my group, Jess. So it's the Sovereign Circle with Jess Beard. Hello, Lorraine from Tasmania. And I wanted to talk actually about how, people talk about money being frequency and, your worth and all your worries about abundance and poverty, lack mentality and all that. But I actually tie it in when I talk about it about like our self-esteem and how it's intrinsically linked with that. So I thought I would do some training on it. So just that it makes people think of it in a different way. And it's also an added incentive for people to really work on their fears and their blocks, which is something that I'm passionate and I do with my coaching. So it helps people, have that added incentive to face their fears. So say you're wanting to step up and you want to start doing cards, you want to start being a healer, you want to start teaching, counseling, any of those things. You have fears that come up. That's completely natural. You might have fears of getting on Facebook like this, not knowing how to do content, not knowing how to promote yourself, having like 1,000 fears that come up. And one of the ways that you can work through that is when you actually really understand that money and your abundance and your self-worth and your confidence is actually very much in alignment. It's that added push. And eventually there's just so many things that are just giving you that push to change. Have that confidence. I'm finally going to make that step. So I'm really excited about the live training. So it's next Thursday morning and all the information is in my description. And I hope, if you are members of the group, because quite a few people that hop on Friday nights are in my group. If there is any beautiful souls out there that would like to join, the group is a really safe, nurturing space where you can come in and you work on, what issues are you wanting to call in. Do you want to work on your fears? Do you want to work on your blocks? Do you want to work on manifesting your shadow work? Do you want to, bring in peace, bring in relaxation? Like it's really what you're needing to work on currently in your life, and then we all support each other. So it's a really loving group, and the link to join, and it's a free group, of course, so it's in the description. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that before we started. So we've got Maria from Greece, Ray, that's you. Oh, darling, I have so many people, and it's because it was me too. And I really just feel there's such a push in the collective at the moment for people to just start facing those fears and push through and step up. And one thing that I see it is like as we're moving on our path to enlightenment or consciousness or whatever you would like to call it, I see it as out in the ocean, and I see it as waves heading towards the ocean, to the shoreline, and the shoreline is enlightenment or being awoken or consciousness, and it happens in waves. So once I was out on the ocean where it's dead flat and I had no idea what a chakra was, I had no idea what this was, and then one day I get woken up, the wave starts to crest, and then on that wave is millions of other people with me, and we ride the wave for the next decade together, stepping up, learning modalities, learning all these things. And then one day our waves just getting closer to the shore, and you turn around and there's all these waves behind us, And there's people that don't know what a chakra is and don't know what energy is, and they want to wake their third eye up really quickly. And is there a quick way to get to the ocean, get to the shoreline? Is there a quick way to enlightenment? So wave upon wave, and it's actually, we reach a period of time where we look back and we go, it's our time to help those people who were once us. And it's really beautiful. So I really feel like there's just so many people getting called to really work on themselves and to really step up as that healer, step up as that counselor, step up as that teacher, step up as that coach, all of those aspects. So yeah. Now, let's get into doing some readings. I have a little bit of a scratchy throat, so I might have to, it's not a cold or COVID, it's actually, I was smudging, and I've smudged so much that the smoke has made my throat a little bit dry. Okay, let's have a look. So, Sandy, purpose is actually what last week's training in my group was. So you'll feel free to join my group and have a look at last week's training. It goes through about 30 or 40 minutes, and it is all about 3 things that you should know about purpose. So I'm going to see what cards come up for you, but purpose is not like a little wand is going to get waved and you're going to go, boom, here's the answer to what you should be doing with your life. It's actually about what are you passionate about? What are you good at? Are you good at teaching? Are you good at helping people? Do you listen? So you go look at your past 15 years of your life. Look at the things that you intrinsically do very easily, and more often than not, it's going to be tied in with something to do with that, and something that you could be absolutely petrified. If you're petrified of public speaking and different things, and that's your block, it could actually be your purpose is to actually get up and teach something, and you have to face that fear. So purpose is, no one that ever pulls cards for you is going to be able to tell you that. And if they do, I would question them. So let's see what's coming forth for you. And I can see. So we have the mother. Let's see what else comes through. The eternal child. And the mystic. So Sandy, when the mother card comes through, and especially with the child beside it, it can either mean 2 things. You yourself have mother issues because your mother, you might not have had a good relationship with her. Could be abandonment issues. It could be just total clash of personalities and clash of archetypes. Or when this comes through, if you've had a good relationship with your mother, it can be on a very esoterical level. So the mother will represent the divine feminine, so the divine feminine of all, and the eternal child can represent that card and that energy of people that have been wounded, the divine mother that's wounded, but also women that have been wounded by abandonment by their mother, by toxic mothers, narcissistic mothers. You have the mystic, which is coming through. The mystic is highly esoterical. You're compulsively wanting to learn things, and it's going to be knowledge based. So I would not be surprised if you attract people to you that have similar situations and you're able to help them with it. I get a feeling that you're quite spiritual, and And are you interested in doing a business that's based in spiritual work, counseling, or helping people that have that abandonment issues? Because it's I feel like these cards are both deeply personal, but also like on that much bigger landscape. So you're like helping the divine feminine, you're helping the other people with the internal child. Azizi, I'll try and ban Azizi. Block. If everyone can block Azizi as well, because sometimes it won't let me. I'm going to have to just ignore Azizi, unfortunately. So, with the mother, now that eternal child is, if you've ever been told to grow up, stop being so optimistic, stop being silly, that's not how the real world works, and those kinds of things. That is like, we don't like to look at optimistic people. We like to call them naive. We like to, push them down, but they're actually fundamental parts of our society, that they're the people that get to see the hope and the ray of light and the silver lining, and no matter what happens, they can go straight to hope, and they actually provide so much energetical support in the collective, and they're really vital. So it's really important that if you see that happening with other people, if it's happened to you, to really acknowledge that the optimistic people in the world are actually the superpowers. If you're getting called to do any form of modalities, teachings, learnings, crystal courses, mediumship, healing, counseling, anything that's like that, you very much could be helping those people that have the internal child, that have issues with their mother, that don't know how to communicate with their mother, and have been wounded by the divine feminine wounding. So it's actually a really beautiful reading, Sandy. The mystic, when it comes into people's field, I'm always very respectful, because the mystic comes in and it's like a compulsive energy of learning. You can't stop learning. You've got to keep doing this. You'll read a lot, talk a lot, go to all to these different things, and you can't put those books down. You can't stop talking to people. You can't stop going to events like this online and asking questions. So really work with that mystic energy, and embrace it. Trust your intuition. If you're getting the feeling to go and learn something, then trust yourself, because you're asking what your purpose is, and your soul might be actually pushing you and telling you right this moment, and you've just got to answer. So Jessie says, so lovely, Sandy, your reading resonates with me too. That's beautiful. So I've never really tried doing a reading for another friend before, but I'm called to. So I'm going to pull some cards, and we're going to see what comes through. Okay, so we'll be able to get her out of her situation. So she has the king that's came up. So the king is usually in reference to the divine feminine, the divine masculine. So it's usually a man. If the king is in a place of power, and if they're in their good, the light, then they think about other people, they're honourable, they're of service. If the king is in shadow, then it's a petty king. It's a man that can be quite childish, he can be abusive, he can be a petty tyrant. So I don't know whether or not you really ever want to talk about it publicly, but if she has a masculine influence, whether it was her father or a current partner that is like a toxic masculinity, then the king's also taking action. You have the hunter energy that has come up beside it, and then the womb. So it's almost like very toxic. So the hunter energy is to never give up, and see how you have there's mirrored. You have the horse, and then it's pursuing in rays of light to a focal point. So quite often, if they have really toxic masculinity, then you need to activate like the good aspects, the action within themselves. But you actually do it by being the highest form of the divine feminine. So you need loving, supporting female to counteract the negative shadow. So see, highest divine feminine to the lowest toxic divine masculine. So they, a toxic divine masculine, a petty king, they erase her sense of worth, everything else like that. So you say everything that you can constantly over and over so that she believes in herself, and that you believe in her, and that you believe that she's strong enough to do this. That, over and over and over, encourage all your friends and families to, bolster and boost what he is not giving her, which is he's eradicating her sense of self-worth. You have the womb, which is, in this instance, I believe, it represents that creative center of the female, literally where we create life, but we can actually manifest, and we can have a sense of worth and a sense of power from that. Like this is something that's uniquely ours. No man can ever take this from us. No man can ever understand what it's like to have a womb. That's what makes us unique. So it's actually our superpower, and instead all the fucking period ads and your tampon ads are making out it's like this awful burden, when it is something that is our power. So I think you could womb support her as much as possible. I believe that every single person can be helped from them if they believe that you can help them and that you believe in them. Because when they're eradicated like this, they just don't believe in themselves, that they feel like they're nothing. And so they need somebody who can be that pillar of strength, and they need the horse, they need that hunter. Don't give up. Don't make her feel like she's foolish or she's a burden, and like she'll have these thoughts, and you actually verbally tell her the opposite. So you go into your priestess, you go into your queen, you go into your divine mother, your mother archetype, and you hold space for her, and you tell her so that she understands that she can get out of this, because quite often they don't believe in themselves. And that hunter energy is don't give up, hunt, hunt, hunt. And the good thing about the hunter archetype is the hunter doesn't give up until they get their goal, until they've hunted it down and they've got their prey. Well, in this instance, the prey is the outcome of what you want, is that she realizes that she's so amazing that she leaves the petty king and she steps into her womb, and she steps into her power as a woman, and then she starts the healing process. And remember, it's going to take time to heal after that. But these cards indicate that it can happen. It is happening. You've just got to step into that hunter, and you've got to be the highest aspect of the feminine that you can. Yep, she's feeling exactly like that, trying to always remind her she is worth it. It's hard as the baby is involved and being dangled. Use the baby as there's nothing more fiercely protective than the mother archetype. Do you want your child to be brought up in this environment with this example? You know, I ask questions like that. Actually use the baby as the strength to actually change. Like, you need to do this so that you can be the strongest mother. You don't want to, you know, you don't want your child growing up in this environment so that they have issues themselves. You need to break the cycle for your daughter, your son. And always as much positive reinforcements as you can. And pray. Speak to her soul to soul, you know. Now, message me personally on my go to Jess Beard Inner Alchemist. Send me a message, and I'll tell you how I say very simple soul to soul kind of prayer. And it's been quite effective. And I'll just send you a little recording. It'll be easier doing it that way than live. Alrighty, so let's have a look at now. These cards will come through. The comments will come through in waves for me. It's got a little bit of a lag, so feel free to comment again and again if you need to, because I don't want to miss out on people that are up the top and have commented only once. I literally can't really scroll back up. It does something weird to the profile. Okay. Jesse Newman, what have we got for you? Okay, so I have another, what do you call these people? Bot or spammer. I'll try blocking them. Oh, hang on, who did I hit then? So, here we go. So this dude here is not real, or he's after your money, so we'll just ignore him. We just need to work out if I can. Who did I click on before? I had Jesse Newman. Okay. I'm just going to try and block user. Okay, so I am back. Oh, hi, Diana. How are you? Okay, so Jess, let's see what's going on for you. You have an initiation card straight up, gorgeous. There's only 8 initiation cards in the entire deck. And so it's usually just a time when like a lot's going to be going on for you on a spiritual level. So it's a bit of an activation. Okay. So Jessie, you have Gnosis. So Gnosis is all about innermost knowings and spiritual truths. So it's a card of your intuition. So really, really working on your intuition, trusting your intuition and taking divine action. So if you've been getting like thoughts of it going, I should do this, and then they just won't go away, or they'll have a really strong, I should be doing this feeling, that you need to start trusting that and working with it. It can be gifts coming online. It can be gifts deepening. You might think to yourself, I'm always being able to get guidance through dreams, and they'll come through dreams, and then all of a sudden you might like start feeling really deeply or seeing or hearing something. Generally, it is mainly about intuition work, but it's anything that's in the unseen realm. So the fourth or fifth D as well. So when it comes through, it's predominantly intuition. Working on any blocks that come up. Why am I not listening to my intuition? Do I have self-worth? Do I fear that I've not been heard? Do I feel that people won't listen to me? Those kinds of things come up and need to be addressed. Anything that's stopping you from listening to your intuition. Yes, that's very fitting, makes sense. All of the above, plus a lot of callings. Yes, it's just a matter of listening to those intuitions, and then if you have some fears and blocks coming up, then that's an indication that you should probably focus on the fears and blocks, because your purpose and your callings are usually what you're afraid of the most. You've got to work through those. You have the poet and you have the flame. So the poet is it's where you're not afraid to go into the shadows, into your darker part of your psyche, to ask, okay, so where am I blocking myself? Where have I been lying to myself? Where have others lied to me? You know, where did this pattern start? Is it my pattern? Is it my mum's pattern? Is it generational, cultural? Is it in the collective? You start to ask really, really deep questions, and you can go quite dark into, if if you had depression or like feeling really flat, all kinds of stuff, it digs it up. The poet is a bridging card. So what it means by a bridge is quite often you can experience all these things that have gone on, all these like epic moments of intuition, faced all these fears, and then you come back and you teach it. So the poet will often be a teacher, a healer, a coach, a counselor, because they go, okay, I've done this journey from point A to point B, and I'm going to teach you how I did it so you understand the process. The flame is highly creative. So, and it's also a card of manifestation, and in using that flame to create, it asks you to look at your desires, look at your passions. So I would really be exploring your spiritual self, going into your psyche, facing fears and blocks, and looking at, what do I want to manifest? What does that flame mean to me? What am I wanting to do? And what's my blocks? And start doing that work, going in and go, okay, well, I'm going to face this block and I'm going to work on this. Now, that's exactly the transformation I'm going through. I'm not surprised. The other thing to state is initiation cards, they go on layers upon layers upon layers. So they can be in our field anywhere from a month to years. And things can be really released. To me, it actually feels like it's going to be your journey over probably the next 6 or so months. It's going to be really super, super strong with you, and you need to face those blocks. If you don't, it's going to go on longer. I never really give time spans though, because you can actually hit a block, transmute it, and then it can be shifted really quickly, and you might be done in a month. I have no idea of what comes up for you with timelines, because everyone has their free will and free choice, and things can be shifting and changing all the time. So presently, I would say, there's a little bit there. Keep facing those fears. In my group, I've got a third person, Obi priest. So I'll try blocking him as well. If anyone can block him and ban him, that would be lovely. Remember, don't click on them. So as I was saying, Jess, in my group, I do have a lot of people that, they get these initiation cards and they're really working on their blocks and their fears. It's a lovely space. We meet once a month where we can chat. I do different teachings in there. I encourage people to hop on and do lives if they're afraid of them, label their fears, work with intention. So if you're needing some support, then by all means join the group, because it's the loveliest bunch of people. I'm just going to see if I can get rid of the priest. Block user. All right, so let's just smudge the cards and we'll pick someone else. So Jessie, by all means, pop into the group. The descriptions in my thing, it's just a free group. It's so supportive and loving. They're really beautiful. And if you want to work on your blocks and you're like, yep, it's called Sovereign Circle with Jess Beard. And the reason I call it sovereign is because when we stand in our sovereign and we start doing that shadow work and working on our fears and blocks so we can step up, you need your sovereign archetype, because you're standing in it and it gives you clarity and strength. So that's the purpose of the name. So I tried blocking priest, and that didn't work. So please, nobody listen to him or click on anything he's had, and let's see if we can get rid of him. Okay, Michelle Moore, what have we got for you? Oh, you got an initiation card too, straight off the bat. Oh, this is a beautiful reading so far. Can we have a nice trifecta? Nice one. Oh, you've got two lovely cards and one bit of work. So you have the initiation card of Eros. So Eros comes in and people think of the Greek god of love, and it's basically the love of all things. When this initiation card comes in, it's like you need to reactivate and reignite your love for everything. It's a partner. It's, you know, if you drink a glass of wine, it tastes amazing. It's not just having a drink. If you eat food, it's like this food is, you know, so nourishing and it's really good. If you hear music, it's joyful. You want to dance. It's you walk outside and you don't just take the scenery for granted. You actually see it and you're like, oh, that's an amazing tree. This is the vibration of Eros. It's really deep love of all things. And it's like a yearning, like you really want more love and appreciation for yourself, for spiritually, like in all areas. So that you're going to be really initiated and activated, and it's going to be really important for you. You've got the one next. So this is like, I want the one. I want that relationship with another person. I want it with myself, and I want it with the divine. So sometimes this can be this moment where you are touched by the divine. It can be a visit from an angel. It can be this cosmic experience sitting on the lounge. It can be staring at sunlight on the water, and you're just taken to something really special. So it's that feeling of wanting to be connected with everything, which really goes with that Eros energy. But it's also can be that real moment, and you'll be, oh, you know, this is like, I'm connected to everything, and it is all divinely working out, and it's perfect as it is. Thank you, Diana. It's wonderful that you could block them. I really just don't understand why they've started using biblical names and like the priest and stuff. It's just creepy. Michelle, your third card is the shadow. So as you are looking to love all things, appreciate all things, and love yourself deeply, you're going to come up with the shadow work. So it's going to be, you might go, ooh, I don't want to talk about self-love, or you might little, stop being silly. Like I said, if you come across any blocks, if you find a little negative voice going, stop being silly, Michelle, get back to work, don't listen to the music, you've got stuff to do, then tell that voice to I see you, thanks a lot, but no, I'm choosing to see and be love, and feel sensual about everything. So if you have somebody in your life who is in shadow, it's either addressing the issue and having that communication and go, look, we need to communicate better because this is not working. What's wrong? And we're going to be honest and grown up right now. Or they might not like it when you start changing. It could be a sibling or a friend, and they don't like change. They'll be like, oh, what's she doing? And they try and be negative Nancy's. So be aware of that aspect as well. So it's a shadow in other people, and it's the shadow, if you have negative thoughts that are squashing wanting to be connected and loving deeply all things, then you need to work on those little thoughts and heal them. Diana, it kind of did. That's it's quite amusing. So let's have a look for Jaden. I'm just going to smudge my cards, Jaden. It won't be a second. I always like to smudge my cards after an initiation card. Need some direction. Okay. You have a lovely smile, Jaden. Now, what have we got? Oh, another initiation card to the start of. Have I attracted everybody going through massive transformation or something tonight? Is there an antenna above my house going, everyone who's going under initiation, tune in? Let's have a little look what else comes through for you, Jaden. Holy shit. You have 2 back-to-back initiation cards. There is only 8 in the whole deck. So when this happens, usually people are going, like if you've been really overwhelmed at the moment, Jaden, it's just because you've spiritually got a lot going on. Sometimes people can almost be like they feel like they can go a little bit mental. I've had back-to-back initiation cards, and I had like so much going on, on an emotional level, and then in the family life and all these things, and I was really quite overwhelmed. And then when I did the reading, I understood why. So the first one is Kairos, which is very much trusting in divine timing and your intuition and taking divine action. So this card comes in and it's yes, you're very overwhelmed, and I'm not surprised. With the Kairos, you're going to have to really learn to trust your intuition, which when you when I say that to people, when this card comes through and there's another initiation card, it's like, well, I'm trying to trust my intuition, but it's really hard because there is just so much going on. So what happens is you will have intuition come through, and then it wants you to take action. Now, if you have a repetitive thought like, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, and it doesn't seem to be going away, that's literally your soul going, Jaden, come on, we need to be doing this, take the action. if it's just a thought that comes in and it's not repeating over and over, then don't necessarily have to take that action. But if you keep getting the, initiation to study something, or to move, or to talk to a relative which you haven't in a long time, heal a relationship, face of fear, and it just keeps coming up over and over, then you're really going to have to trust that intuition and take action straight afterwards. If you're also really kind of like, I want this desperately in my life, you're really wanting something and it's not happening, this card is also on that other level. It's just like, well, it's in divine timing. So there's things that you need to work on and do before things will start to have movement and momentum. So divine timing is when it's just not right time because there's still stuff to be done. Now you have Thanatos, which is the initiation card of death. Do not freak out about that. I've had that in my field all of December and still have it in the beginning of January. And what it is you have parts of yourself which are habits and thought patterns which need to be released. So I had, while I was creating some coaching content for people in regards to abundance and worthiness and things, this is actually what I'm teaching next week, it brought up all this stuff. And it was really fascinating. And I had to have parts of myself die off as I'm having these epiphanies. And this is literally, so parts of your preconceived notions of yourself, your habits, this is who I am. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, no, it's not. Like this, this is all like how I've seen myself is actually not the real me anymore. I'm shifting and changing. And it can be quite full on, but embrace it and say affirmations. Say, I need to work with the energy of Thanatos. Show me what needs to be released so I can let it go. And it really is about letting go. And it can come in and it's like a forest fire and it just burns out of your life. And there's all this change. And then after the bushfire, there's always amazing regeneration and whole new brand new forests. So don't think that this is a doom and gloom card. It's actually incredibly powerful and it brings change. But it's change that needs to be released so you can step into something that you're needing. Now you have the heart. So this comes up when we need to really deeply love ourselves. And I actually feel like you've either had a heart broken by something or just a lot of sadness. Like maybe it's family stuff or just seeing a lot of hard things going on around you. Like my throat's actually like almost wanting to close up with a little bit of grief. So you might have had actually a really tough time of it in the last few years, let alone the last few months. So this is, coming back and deeply loving yourself. If you have had heartbreak, it's about healing yourself and loving yourself so that the new partner that you call in is actually going to be nurturing. You don't want to repeat patterns. If that Thanatos card is based around, destructive patterns with codependency and things like that, then that's what needs to die off so that you can have new partners in or a better relationship. It might not be partner, it could be family members, it could be something else, but it's deep self-love work. I always have quite a bit of compassion for those who get double initiations. So Jaden, if you need some help and you don't want to join my group, I don't mind if you reach out and message me on my page, and if you need some support then by all means do so, because I deeply understand how overwhelmed you could be feeling right now with just so much stuff going on. But I'm sending you lots of love And everyone from this group and everyone that's on here can have that energy of wishing you really well. And everything that comes up, remember you're strong enough. Every time we go in initiation, we've asked for it on a soul level. We've called it in. So you can do it. So much love. Okay. I hope that helped, Jaden. Been feeling single and very lonely for a very long time. I think it's time, work on that self-love, work on that heart, you know, feeling really worthy and calling in a relationship that's going to be beneficial, because you really solidly know who you are, and they're going to be right for you. Okay. So, okay, thanks, great, so much, and thank you. Perfect. It was a full-on time and a bit of a full-on reading, Jaden, but I think you really needed to hear it tonight. And also, I, you know, honor you. You can do this. You know, double initiation cards are never easy, but you can do it. Lots of change. Embrace it. Don't freak out. Be excited to find out who the new Jaden's going to be by the end of all of this. Alrighty, the beautiful Kerry. I'm just going to smudge my cards. I always like to after initiation cards because they hold a lot of energy. How have you been, Kerry, my love? Okay. I'm just going to take a sip. It's my form of soft drink. I actually don't like the taste of soft drink anymore. So I get a bit of juice and I put soda water in it. And it's been so long since I've had soda water. I mean, soft drink, but that's actually tastes like soft drink to me. So you can really reprogram your mind to believe anything. You really can. Okay. And the beautiful Kerry. Vessel. Oh, Kerry, these are interesting cards. Let me just see what your third one is. The anticipation a lot. Ooh. Hi, Holly, gorgeous. Okay, so the vessel, it's literally on a spiritual level, being more able to hold more energy. So it's like a frequency upgrade. It's also really loving the body. So if you're getting called to do anything like yoga, yin yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, something that I'm getting this real sense of the body with movement. It could be just taking a nice walk in nature, but like it's actually the physical vessel and the energetic vessel for you at the moment. You have this beautiful nectar card, my favorite in the entire deck. It is the things that bring us soul joy, nurture us, make us go, yes, self-care, I needed to do this. And you know how you might have a really stressful time of it and you go and you just have a cup of coffee by yourself and you take that first sip of coffee and you're like, oh, I needed this. That is nectar. It could be when you're getting into a bubble bath after a stressful day and you're like, this is the world's greatest thing. That is what's coming in. That's what you need to really work with. really be concentrating on the things that are bringing you self-care, self-nourishment and self-love, and incorporate them every day. I don't mean just write out an affirmation, like actually create an action list, call it in and work with it and do it, because it's going to raise your vibration and support that vessel as it's activating and as you're containing more energy. And then, Kerry, we have the shaman. So this is going to be working with your spiritual self and upgrading of spiritual gifts and abilities. So I actually feel like it's going to be something that's a little bit new, whether or not a different way of dreaming comes in, something, you know, with mediumship, seeing something in a different way. You might start to feel energy in a different way in your body. It actually feels like a new gift or an expansion of a gift coming online. And remember, with the shaman, don't ever block the shaman archetype, because if you fight the shaman, it starts to develop and they learn through the hard way. So I warn people with the shaman that if you don't work with it and embrace it, you'll learn the hard way, and then you'll still learn the thing in the first place. So if you do have things that are coming online that can be a little bit unusual and you're like, what's going on? Don't freak out, don't panic, don't go and just embrace anything new. And some of the conversations I have with my friends, you know, woo-woo is not even the word, it's, you know, witch doctor more likely. So the shaman is also very supported by the elements. If you're feeling energy coming up, your vessel's getting more, you're getting recharged, you're getting energetically more, you know, your container is getting bigger. You might need to seek comfort. You're going to get comfort by bushwalking, going into water, crystals, essential oils, crystal essences, bushflower essences, anything that is of the earth. Gardening, go stick your hands in the earth. Those things are going to help you so much energetically at the moment as more things come online and as you expand. So I'm really excited for you, Kerry. I really want to know what's going to go on for you in the next month. It feels incredibly expansive, but very exciting. If it's been stressful for you, Kerry, then you need to go to the earth. The elements are going to support you wholeheartedly, but your container's growing. So you're under stress, you know, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, hang on, I handled that and I didn't break. And that's what happens with that, and how our container, we get stretched and stretched and stretched to breaking point, and then that's your new level. And then a few months later, a few weeks later, a few years later, you have through another moment of expansion, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I hold this, I can't hold this, and then it pauses, and then that's your new container, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's how you can hold more energy, more spiritual concepts, more abilities to heal, more abilities to see, more abilities to be deeply of service with the priestess, all of these aspects. As your container gets bigger, so does your ability to be of service. I hope that helped, beautiful. Simone Capriotti. Let's have a look what's for you, my love. Wow, I just got very light-headed then, Kerry. You do, I think you're going to have a lot going on for you with that shaman card. So be really gentle, ground yourself a lot. Yeah, whew. Yeah, very light-headed. Simone. Okay, what other cards have we got for you? Your reading's not that pleasant so far, gorgeous. I'm hoping for a nice third card for you. Hold on. I'm just warning you. It's not like the world's worst. Okay. Okay, so it is a bit full on. So brace yourself, gorgeous. You have the Venom card. So you have toxic people in your life at the moment. Really, I'm just getting a lot of toxic people. I think you also might have a bit of negative talk. And sometimes you can almost feel like you're under psychic attack with this card as well. I get lots of toxicity. So you might have it in your workplace and might have like toxic family members. You know, people just so negative and they drain you dry, you know. And I feel like it's in more than one area of your life. So you have the fault line second, darling. And then you have the desert. So you're getting really called to work on the toxic people in your life at the moment. And you need to spend less time with them and you need to bolster your own energy field. If you need help, go and find an energy healer. Go find a counselor, you know, come join my group and you can have a chat with the ladies and talk about, you know, what might be coming up. You know, these are the kind of things you need to do. You need to find really supporting, loving, nurturing people. Go to a women's group, a meditation group, something that is going to help you step away from the toxic energies and everything that's involved in your life. The fault line is as you're doing this work, as you're stepping away from the toxic people and taking action to bolster yourself and look at your own energy and protect yourself from getting drained dry, it's going to feel really frightening for you because it's new. You know, like this, I feel like you've been used to toxicity and nasty people for a very long time. And you're like, well, can I really have a life without that? And that ties into that energy of the desert. Am I ever going to get out of the desert? Am I ever going to find the water at the end of the oasis and get out of this place? So you really need support. Find the most loving, caring people that you can who are not bitchy, who are not nasty, and really surround yourself with those people as you're doing this work. If you've been venomous towards yourself or venomous towards other people and fighting a lot and different things like that, you need to stop. This is a card, this reading here is just like stop. So you need to really self-nurture, self-love, protect your energy field, eat well, exercise well. Like your physical body is going to actually be the one that's going to help you move through this and be able to shift from such low vibrations all around you. So nurture the body, because I think it's like your mind doesn't believe it's possible. So I hope that helps. I know it's not the world's most pleasant reading. These are three fairly full-on cards. But you need to face this venom energy and the toxic people. And if you're under like psychic attack, you need to get help from that as well. So really face the venom. Where is venom in your life? Where is toxic people in your life? And really work on that. Just going to smudge these cards. I'm sending you lots of love, darling. Okay. So, Kim. Oh, the beautiful Kim. I love your hair. And your eyes are stunning. Robert, that's very true. Yeah. Instead of people facing themselves when it comes to money, they get envious and they project outwards instead of looking inwards. Money is intrinsically linked with your self-confidence and your self-worth, your belief in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and none of those things, you're always going to be in lack. If you miraculously won $1 million and you've got no sense of self-worth, you'd give either most of it away or lose it within a couple of years because you don't have the frequency to hold it. Okay, Kim, you have a really, you're going on a journey of self-nurturing as well. It looks like it's a little bit of a theme in the collective at the moment, because I've had a lot of conversations with people over the last few days about this, and self-care is like really important at the moment. Simone says, thank you so much. I can totally relate to this and know what I should be doing. It's just having the courage to. Thank you so much. Darling, come join my group, the Sovereign Circle with Jess Beard. You can always reach out and have a chat. I love helping people, and I don't mean that in a cheesy way. Like, I deeply love being of service. I have the priestess archetype. It doesn't mean I get around with beads in my hair or wear a crown. It means I get so much soul joy out of helping people. So, you know, like, this is a big one for people at the moment, and you do need to take responsibility for your energy, your body, and everything else, because nobody is going to save you. It's one of my catchphrases: be your own hero. And you know, that's one of the things that I'd like to do is be people's champions. I absolutely believe 150 million trillion % that we can transform ourselves and do it. No one's going to do it for you. You get support, you get healings, you get such and such, but it's you who does the work, you who make the commitment, you who ask for help, you can be vulnerable in that moment. So I just want to say, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and so it shall be. Now, the beautiful Kim, you have the kiss archetype coming in. This is such a feeling of expectation, like something good is about to happen, and you know, it's been a while and you really want something good in your life. Yes, I want something fun, I want something good, it's my time. So it's really potent. The village card, this one goes directly in with it. Like, if you're wanting to manifest something in, you're wanting a new relationship, a new career, a new anything, then you need to actually surround yourself with a supportive tribe that's going to support you instead of pull you down. So the card here is both find a tribe that's going to support, and also be aware that when you have when you change and transform, there's going to be people who are going to want to kind of pull you down a little bit, and like you know, they don't like it when you change, when you leave the tribe, that kind of thing. So you know, find your tribe, find people who are supportive, meditation groups, women's circles, online groups like mine. If you like crystals, go to crystal groups. If you like pagan stuff, go to pagan stuff. Find people who are going to uplift you, because you do have that expectation something's going to happen, you know, and you need to call it in. And you have that nectar card, which came in for Kerry, you know, do those things that really bring you so much nurturing and so much joy and so much fulfillment, and the things that, you know, you love the most. You know, you really have the bubble baths, have a bit of chocolate, have a wine, have a walk, treat yourself to a spa day. You know, really make things like whatever you're calling in, what you're wanting to do, you do things that are going to be in what you're wanting to embody. If you want to be rich, do things that make you feel rich. If you want to be a healer, do things that make you feel like a healer. If that makes sense. Like, it's a really beautiful reading. It's something's coming in. Find a tribe, find that support, find the people who are going to help you manifest it and do it, and support yourself by nurturing yourself at the same time. So it's like really potent. It's quite amazing. It's a really lovely one, Kim. So I've just had a heap of messages pop through. Robert, yes. So dump them all. Remember that people move away. They'll eat you alive. If intuitive, trust that. Move away from all that advice just given. Take care. All of you need to do this yourself. Did I miss another part? Oh, self-esteem can be eaten away from the closest ones. Yes. So if somebody cannot be healed, Robert, or that, you know, they can't be shifted, then you don't have to dump them. You can try and communicate with them, but if you can't, you ultimately have to really put yourself first. Yes, for sure, that they need to learn to grow in their time, not yours. You can't change somebody who doesn't want to be changed. You can't heal somebody that doesn't want to be healed. Where I am and have been now, I've dumped a lot, 99%. Robert, have you replaced the people that you've left with a positive tribe? What else have we got coming through? I get delayed comments. Kim Scott, I did it, Simone. Get rid of negative people. And this is all beautiful. You are all amazing. So I've gone over time. I always do, because I get caught at the last moment. So just remember, we can all do this. We can all have our transformation. We can all have our growth. We work on ourselves. Where we have fears, where we have blocks, when we need to really, you know, work on ourselves. I've got my free training in my group next Thursday morning, and I'll be talking about how abundance, you know, wanting money, it's intrinsically linked to your self-esteem system, and how what you believe in is actually, you know, the amount of money that you can hold, otherwise that you'll lose it. So it's all the stuff that I've been doing from when I was about 8 or 9 years ago. I was living way beyond my means, and I have been on the funniest journey from going from poverty, lack mentality to, you know, having my own business. I have my own car. I have my investment house. You know, I'm on my way to holding more and more frequency and growing and really understanding all aspects of it, and growing every day. So it's not just about saying some affirmations. There's practical tips in it as well. So I really want to share that with people, because you know, people will say, "I'll just say these affirmations," and it's not enough. There's other stuff that you need to think about. So I'm really I'm really excited for you. Robert's, it's more just popped up. Thanks from Kim. Robert goes, I do need a tribe. True, you're right. Thank you, you're right. Robert, if you let go people that no longer of your frequency, you replace them with people who are. So if you've been holding more confidence and you're holding more money, and they've, attacking you because you're getting more money, then you find other people that still have the same spiritual and interests and stuff as yourself, but they're not afraid of money and they're not in lack and they're not trying to take your money. So it's really important to replace your tribe with someone that's going to support you. Just like anybody here who is wanting more money in their lives and more stuff, if you have toxic people or people who you don't think can share the vision of yourself, you find people who do hold that vision or are capable of seeing you as rich and abundant or supportive. They're going to raise you up, not tear you down. So having a supportive tribe is absolutely vital. So and that's important in all areas. Like we're talking about abundance now because that came up with Robert, but it's also all areas. It's your happiness, it's your health, it's your mental ability, mental side, your mental health, and your spiritual self, your spiritual energy, your soul. You need to find the people that are of a new frequency that can hold the vision of who you're wanting to be, because if they're just dragging you down, it's not helpful, and it's actual weight. If you're trying to ascend energetically, it is a physical weight, and you can still love them and they can still be your family members, but you're not going to be energetically attached to their stories anymore. It's because you're here, it's your lifetime. You've been born in with free will, and no matter what soul contracts, what family you've got, it's your choice. If you really want to do something, you want to become a healer, you want to start doing readings, you want to travel the world and be a reporter, who knows what you're wanting? It is your life. And ultimately, if you let somebody hold you back, it's your fault, it's not them. So find people who can hold the energy of you being this version of yourself that you're wanting to dream into reality, because we ultimately co-create our reality. We are that powerful, and that's what freaks us out. So much love to all of you, and I'll see you next Friday. If anyone would love to come for the training next Thursday, the link to my group is in the description. And all kinds of stuff goes on in the group. It's really lovely. Much love to you. And much love to you, Robert. I think you've done a tremendous amount of work on yourself, and you need to acknowledge that and honour yourself for it and find a supportive tribe. Oh, I'm getting to it, teary. All right, darling. Much to you all.